What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything you need to know about and what's happening here in our country on a daily basis. Congress has a major vote here today as they start the new season or the new congressional session here today. And we got a lot to talk about here. The new year is starting, the first official business day of the year, and Congress is already at it. We'll go over there what's happening here today. Also, thanks so much for liking and sharing these videos. It helps get our videos out to more people here with the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos. It's completely free to do so. Let's jump right in. Also, did you hear about NFL Bills player Damar Hamlin, who had a heart attack, cardiac arrest on the field last night on Monday Night Football? After a kind of routine hit, he got up and fell back down. Let me know if you've seen this here happen on the field. He remains in critical condition. Yeah, he's still in critical condition here today. Here's an update on this. Yeah, Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin suffered cardiac arrest during the Buffalo Bills game against the Cincinnati Bengals late Monday night and remains in critical condition, his team announced Tuesday morning. The Bills tweeted just before 2 a.m. on Tuesday that Hamlin's heartbeat was restored on the field. That's right, they gave him CPR on the field, and he actually had lost his heartbeat on the field. He collapsed following a tackle that he made. He was taken to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center for further testing and treatment. The team said Hamlin had been sedated. He stood up after tackling a Bengals player during the first quarter of the game, but fell to the ground a few seconds later. He received CPR, and an ambulance came onto the field to take him to the hospital. I watched it. I can't show you the footage because it's copyrighted. The Bills-Bengals game was temporarily suspended after Hamlin's collapse and then postponed an hour later. Members of both teams were visibly shaken by the incident. He's only 24 years old and in his second year in the NFL. He was drafted by the University of Pittsburgh. And get this, a community toy drive that Hamlin started had raised more than $3 million as of Tuesday morning after the incident. Wow. Isn't that amazing? The listed goal was only $2,500. What an amazing cause that this guy has started. So, really good cause. Let's hope he pulls through because yeah, he's in critical condition and his heartbeat actually stopped on the field. They had to give him CPR and resuscitate him. So we'll see what happens. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. This week, 118th Congress kicks off with a speaker vote and lawmakers being sworn in to the House of Representatives and to the Senate. And Kevin McCarthy, the leader of the Republicans in the House, while he was the minority leader last year, is in for a bit of a struggle. You can see here, Kevin McCarthy faces election House Speaker unsure if he has the votes needed. Leader of the slim Republican majority, they do have the majority of the House of Representatives. But he has been negotiating to secure backing of hardliners, but voting could go multiple rounds to see if he actually gets enough votes for the speaker. This is because when the Republicans held a vote to see if Kevin McCarthy would win enough votes, 36 Republicans did not vote for Kevin McCarthy, which would not be enough to secure the majority. So we'll have to see what happens, but there is at least 20-some Republicans that have spoke out and said they will not vote for Kevin McCarthy for one reason or another. And that will not be enough to secure the Speaker of the House. So he and other Republicans have been trying to negotiate with them to get their vote. So, yeah, the Republicans have been very divided. We think about the divide between former President Donald Trump, who's largely kind of still been considered the face of the Republican Party. He's been in a lot of polls the front runner for the Republican candidate for president next election. We have seen Florida Governor Ron DeSantis become the leader in a few polls. So we'll have to see what happens here with that. But we see that the divide between former President Donald Trump and Republican leader of the Senate for many, many, many years, Mitch McConnell, who's been Senate Majority Leader and Senate Minority Leader as well, both of them, depending on how, who's controlling the Senate. Mitch McConnell, they haven't been getting along for a long time. And we're also seeing more and more dissent with Republican leaders of the House and the Senate with Trump, with a lot of Trump's political controversy here lately. So we'll have to see what happens with that. So we're seeing divide with Republicans on multiple different fronts, with the votes for Kevin McCarthy, with the Trump and with the whole Trump situation, and also with the dissent with Mitch McConnell and Mitch McConnell and Trump. So we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens there, and the vote's going to be happening today. Now, if they don't secure enough votes for a majority, they can go multiple votes. So votes can happen multiple times until a majority happens. So that'll be interesting to see what happens. It's been a long time since we've actually had that happen. Yeah, so I'll keep up to date here on this. We'll see. In fact, I want to show you here an update that just came through here a few minutes ago, as they're actually negotiating on the House floor before a vote that's going to happen here. Kevin McCarthy has been frantically negotiating with his party's right-wing House rebels. Interesting wording there. Yeah, it's like I guess it's like the Star Wars rebels here. In recent days and nights, seemingly without securing the votes needed to get him the majority required to become the House Speaker, at least not in the first round of voting, which is about to begin. One of the main things that the rebels are demanding in the reinstatement, I guess these are the Republican rebels, are demanding in the reinstatement of a rule scrapped by previous Speaker and Democrat Nancy Pelosi, that just one member can call a vote to oust the Speaker. Wow. That's honestly kind of crazy that one member can call a vote to oust the Speaker. I don't personally agree with that. One member would call a vote for that. You guys can let me know your thoughts here on this. I mean, there's just kind of crazy members of Congress that would call a vote for anything. McCarthy apparently hasn't gone below a threshold of 5 members needed to force such a vote. That even, to me, seems even a little bit more realistic. McCarthy is in a massive pickle here, that's for sure. Nancy Pelosi can be seen posing for a picture on the House floor right now, grinning broadly in a shocking pink pantsuit. She's stepping back from her leadership position post-midterms, but remains the representative for her San Francisco district. Then there's this from CNN. Trump told Kevin McCarthy to take the deal offered to him Monday night by the hardline House Republicans, who are vowing to block his path to speakership, I'm told. But McCarthy declined. The former president said in mid-December that McCarthy deserves a shot. So if that's the deal, just that little thing there, I mean, I'd probably take it if I were him. My wife says, well, the problem is, who else would be speaker? Well, the problem is that he'll get like 90% of the votes. The Democrats will all vote for Hakeem Jeffries, and then there'll kind of be a stalemate is what I think will happen. And then we'll go to a multiple vote situation where they'll just kind of vote, then vote again, then vote again. We'll just have to see what happens. I think it's been decades since this has happened. So we will have to see what happens here. Also, Southwest Airlines being sued for not providing refunds after their massive meltdown where over 15,000 flights were canceled. Also, you can see this other headline here. Southwest woes leave thousands of people's bags lost and left in piles at the airport, telling people, quote, "There's nothing we can do." Yeah, what an absolute nightmare. They des- yeah, they deserve to be sued. Not to mention here that I've seen stories of people that were going on their honeymoon and going on family vacations, going to see family, going to, all sorts of different type of trips and business trips and all sorts of things that were canceled and they were SOL. Southwest said, sorry. What a nightmare. I seen a big headline that said a couple's $4,000 honeymoon was canceled because of Southwest and they couldn't get a refund. What a nightmare. I mean, imagine if that was your honeymoon. You just got married and you will remember this forever. And some of these things are non-refundable, didn't come with insurance, you didn't get the insurance, whatever the circumstance may be. And you're there at the airport, you did everything you're supposed to do, and the airline just cancels your plane. And then the airline says sorry. Uh, you know, tough luck. What a nightmare. These are things you will remember forever. So I remember one time, me and my wife were getting on a plane. I think this was before we had Julian, and we were getting on a connector, and we got off one plane, we ran to the next one, we get there, and they're like, "Sorry, the door's closed," and we're like, "The plane's right there. We see the plane." And they wouldn't let us on. And of course we had to wait then, hours and hours and hours. It kind of reminded us of Home Alone, where they get to the gate there, and he runs into the travel agent, and like all the tickets drop there and stuff, and we were running through the airport. What's interesting is that when they run through that airport, in that scene where they're running through and all those people were there, we actually ran through that exact airport one time. It's kind of crazy. But so one time we actually got to the gate there, and they closed the door. I don't know, a minute before we got there or something. The plane's still there, and they wouldn't let us on. Yeah, it was a big disappointment. And so the plane's still sitting there. They wouldn't let us on, and the plane hadn't taken off or anything like that. And so thus we had to wait, I don't know, another 6 hours, something like that, to get on another plane. Yeah. So I get it. They have rules and regulations. I get it. But it was just a huge, huge disappointment. And I still remember this story to this day. And of course, it wasn't our fault. The other plane was late. Again, we were on our plane. We weren't late. We got off our plane and went literally directly to the other plane. So we didn't do anything. We literally did everything we're supposed to. We got right off that plane and went right to the other plane. But it's just like, sometimes you do what you're supposed to do. But in this case, Southwest literally canceled 15,000 plus flights, and now they're going to be sued. And rightfully so. And they haven't even refunded a lot of these people. They're trying to give vouchers to some people, which is not what they're supposed to do. What an absolute nightmare. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Let me know if you've had any travel related nightmare stories. Comment down below. Some of these stories are, you never forget them. You never forget them. So Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Thanks for liking and sharing these videos. It helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos. It's completely free to do so. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. You can click here to see my newest video about checks potentially coming here in January, or you can see my newest video about Social Security, 6 massive changes you need to know about now. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.